Hello, today we will talk about the Angular reactive forms. So first let's look at the forms. So we can see that there is a very simple forms uh, provided here. So there is only username and email. So we will uh, use this form by Angular reactive forms. So let's go and look at the codes. Okay, so here is my TypeScript component. So here you can look at that, it's very clean. So I'm gonna make the genders like there's male and female in an array, so I can use that in the HTML element. Okay, then we're making a sign up form using form group. So what is form group? I'm gonna tell you later. It's basically a class what is already made for us, so we can use it. So next I have created a sign up form. So first I just made this property called sign up form using form group class. Okay, after that in the ng on it I'm using this sign up form and making a new form group, and I'm giving username, email and gender. So why I'm using this, don't get confused, I'm gonna describe you step by step. Okay, let's go to the HTML element. Okay, here you can look at the HTML element. It's very confusing here, but I'm gonna go to my sketches so it will be very easier for you. So here it is. You can look at here, like you can see in the previously we have used template driven approach, and this is like everything is made up for us and we only use this. But reactive approach is kinda like we're gonna make the form and we will use it in the HTML element. So here is some written, like we already imported ng from the package called Angular forms. Ng form was automatically created and it was wrapping a form group in the end. This ng form was also doing the same thing that we are doing here. So that's what is saying that in Angular every form is just a group of control at the end. So the main point is the form is just a form group in the Angular. So here in the HTML element, it's like a very clean HTML. You can see that there's form and there's a form group and input type, ID and form control name, what it is. So let's go to the first point, like form group. What is form group? Form group is something like, hey, this it's basically a directive. Okay, it's a directive is asking that HTML form that, hey, please take my form group, don't make any form by yourself, don't infer one, just use my form group. Which form group? That I'm creating in the component. So what is form control mean? This thing is very unknown for us, right? So form control name is something like, it's asking that it's like this input. So we told the HTML that form is, it's like we created a form or its name is sign up form and use that form. So in the input type, in the input we have to declare that our form group have what kind of user name or what kind of things inside the form group. So you can look at that, like if it's you just follow along that this form control name is saying that, hey, what's the name of this input in my TypeScript form? Well, the name is username. You can look at that here, we use username and this username is came from here. Okay, so username is a new form control, so you are using form control name. Okay, it's a new form control, so we are using form control name. So username, okay, it's a part of form group. Form group is inserted to a sign up form. Okay, sign up form is a property that is used a class which type is form group type. And we have to keep in mind that we have to use reactive form module in the module.ts. That's like that's the key thing we have to remember. We have to do that because in the form we are using form group. If we use form group, if we don't use the reactive form module, then it will say that the HTML element will say that HTML form will say that, hey, what is form group? I never knew about it, or never heard something like this. So if you use this module, reactive form module, then the form will know that form group. Okay, let's begin. Okay, so it's like we will use the simple steps and we will go through all of the things that's happening inside the Angular. Okay, so here first saying that form group saying that bring the sign up form. Okay, so it's bringing the sign up form from the component ts, and sign up form is bringing the class and is the type of sign up form. So after that it's going to the sign up form, and you can see that this sign up form is inserted username, email, gender. So this username, email, gender is going through here, and then is going to the as a control name, email, username, and the supposed to be gender, so gender. So in this way it's making a connection with the HTML using this form group class. So now I think you're very much clear about like what is form group and what is form control. So form group is all about like all of the form control are in a group, and this group is assigned to a property, something like here. Okay, so let's do the submission. So how we can submit this form? So we can use ng submit. So it's like a Angular event binding, and we can submit the form using on submit method. You can say it's an event binding. What is with the first bracket, and it's event binding, and you can see that it's a method. So this method is here, the component we are using this method. And previously we saw that in the ng form, in the template driven approach, we used local reference like #f is a local reference, and we are inserting the ng form into the f, like the local reference, and the local reference will be inserted into the method, and then we can have the form value and everything in our component. So now basically we don't need to use local reference. In reactive forms we can see that it automatically get the form value by form control name and from form group. So let's see how it gets the informations. Okay, first you can see that form group is connected with the sign up form. Okay, and in the same way, like in the same time, on submit method is calling here. Okay, so you can see that if we console the sign up form, all of the information like username, email, or sorry, it should be gender. So these three things will be like using form control name will be in the form group, and the form group will be inserted into the sign up form. And if we console log the sign up form, we can find the values and other activities as well. So basically we can just make this like we can use our own model or the model of our application and easily make sure that form structures matches the structures of our model. Like we can use, when using the backend server, we can just make a model, and this model will be inserted into the Geonit, and the fetching things, everything we can do it very easily. And that's all. So thank you guys, and let me know if I have cleared it out or not. So that's all.